Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to another drama. I was trying to think of what to say. A TikTok drama video. And this is titled TikTok Food Review Shows Warm in Food. And the restaurant responds. So the person that is doing the food review, I've seen him before. I don't watch him, but I have heard of him before through other YouTube videos. There was another video with some drama that I saw, I think at the BET Awards or something like that, with Taraji P. Henson. I don't know. That was a few months ago, and that was like the first time I've heard of him, I think. And I've seen other videos of him through other news channels on YouTube, like reacting to that drama. So anyway, that's how I know who he is. I haven't seen his videos though, but yeah, I guess a recent video of him finding a worm in the food and then the restaurant responding. So let's find out what happens, and yeah, let's get into the video, and please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
Right, so today we're talking about a situation that has went ridiculously viral over the past few days, and it involves a TikToker that
Turn up a little bit.
99% of people watching this video have heard of at this point, and that's Keith Lee. Keith Lee being one of the biggest TikTokers on the planet, especially when you look at the amount of views he gets per video. If we just look at his page right now,
but yeah, his I guess he's really popular on TikTok. I don't really use TikTok like that, so that's why I haven't seen many of his videos. But yeah, he has, I guess, a huge following. He reviews restaurants and food and stuff. So if he gives a bad review of a restaurant, it's probably going to be a huge blow to the restaurant in a negative way. So yeah. Also, in this picture, doesn't he look like Kenan Thompson? Is that Kenan Thompson? That is Kenan Thompson. Never mind. I think they did a parody of him on SNL, maybe.
Of views every single video. This one's got 47.3 million views. There's another one here with 80 million, 13.9 million. You get the point, right? A massive TikToker, and what he does is he reviews restaurants or like food trucks. He reviews people's businesses, and his opinion clearly matters a lot because a lot of people watch. And we've seen a lot of the positive effects that a good Keith Lee review can have on a restaurant. He will go to like a restaurant that is really struggling business-wise, isn't getting many customers. He'll make a video,
but if it's negative,
really you should go there, and then
start closing your shop now.
And obviously, on the flip side, if Keith Lee gives a negative review, that isn't very good for a restaurant, and 9 times out of 10 they release a statement kind of talking about the review. Right, now before we do get any further, I do just have a little disclaimer here, because throughout the video you're about to watch, I do say now and then that we don't have a full response from Keith Lee yet. That isn't true. I have since recorded like a new part when Keith Lee has actually uploaded a full video talking about the situation that's going to be towards the end of the video. So any parts where I'm like, oh, he hasn't said like a full response yet, it's not true. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching Keith Lee's full response because we do have some new crucial information that's very important to the story. But like I said, we'll get to that towards the end of the video. Now what makes this specific situation different to the rest is...
Wait, what'd he say? Oh my gosh. I was trying to go back.
Crucial information that's very important to the story, but like I said, we'll get to that towards the end of the video.
Oh, okay.
What makes this specific situation different
at the end of the video, I thought he was going to say another video.
Gives on this restaurant that we're talking about today is a good one. He likes the food, he says positive things, so you would think it would have a positive effect on the restaurant. Well, in fact, it's the complete opposite.
There's
but
a
let me
worm.
add some context. So the restaurant we're talking about today is Fob's Sushi Bar in Seattle. And as you can probably tell by the name, they serve sushi. This is their Instagram page right here, some of the food that they serve.
Oh,
looks pretty...
Doesn't Fob mean fresh off the boat? Right?
Appetizing. And of course, as you can imagine, Keith Lee recently went to this restaurant and done a review. Now, this video has caused so many other TikTokers to talk about this place that are all getting a ridiculous amount of views. I mean, if we just take a look at some other TikTokers' videos on a situation, we got ones with 7.4 million, 2.7, 9.2, 4.4, 2.8. A lot of people are very invested.
Wait, I'm sorry, I keep pausing, but that reminds me, because this place is a sushi restaurant. So my first year living in Korea, I went to a restaurant to have some fish, but like cooked fish. I guess it was like grilled fish or something like that. And for presentation, there's like lettuce or I don't know, something on the plate as like a garnish. And then they put the fish on top. And like we were about to eat it, like me and my friends. And then there's a maggot like crawling on the plate. And we're like, We are not going to eat this. So it's interesting that this is a worm at a fish restaurant, because my experience was also with fish and a worm on the plate. So nasty.
In this, but why are so many people invested? That's obviously what you're wondering, and this is the reason. Now, I do want to give you a bit of a pre-warning here. This might be a bit grim to people. So Keith Lee is having sushi, and it is pretty known that fish sushi can potentially have like worms in it. So just bear that in mind with what I'm about to show you.
I guess that explains my situation.
See the rice.
Okay, he's got the sushi.
Texture of the rice.
But I would never eat raw fish, so I've never had sushi before.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
But this as a sashimi is hot.
Okay, right. That is a very quick clip there, and you might not have even noticed what I'm referencing here, so let's go back. Now, the place you need to pay attention to is actually this part of the sushi right here, this little flick right here.
I saw something
and if I slowly
move.
kind of go along, you'll see that it actually moves by itself. So he's just holding it, and then it moves up like that. And to kind of show you better, I'll show you like a slow motion clip.
Wait,
right now.
is
now,
that...
I just want to make it clear, I don't know what...
Is that a worm, or is it you know those flakes that they put on top sometimes of the food, and when it's hot they start moving around? Did that sushi have flakes on it, like fish flakes or something? I don't know, but yeah, fish flakes can move on their own when there's like heat and stuff, but it's sushi, so I guess it's not hot. So
the answer is here as to why that happened. Obviously, there's a lot of people going out their way to say that this is because of like worms and parasites and all this stuff. There are other people with like different reasoning. The restaurant has now came out and released a statement with their reasoning. So I do just want to say, I'm not saying that it's 100% because like there's worms in the food, but that definitely does seem to be the public opinion. A lot of people are saying
it does
that
look like a worm.
like that this restaurant or who they get the fish from are not taking care of the fish properly, and it still has these worms inside. And if we look at the comments in this video, we can see the public reaction, right? We've got someone here saying, Fob Sushi Bar, respond to this, with 60,000 likes. POV, you're here from the worm call-out videos, that's got nearly 300,000 likes. I'm mad Fob Sushi is trying to gaslight us, I know what I saw. Like I said earlier, we will get to the response later. 1 minute 50 in the video, did anyone see that worm move in the salmon? Yeah, clearly people have made their mind of what they think it is. But if we look at this comment right here, this is kind of like one of the explanations that people were giving, right? So this comment says, worm versus bonito flakes. You be the judge. FYI, bonito flakes move from the heat, steam, and heat of the
What I
light.
say?
I didn't really know what bonito flakes were before this, but we do have a video here to show you.
When my food got to the table, I noticed it was still moving. It almost looked like
See,
it was
that's what I was
still
talking
alive.
about.
But it turns out this is a popular Japanese topping called bonito flakes, which is made from
Bonito.
fish that is dried, smoked, and then shaved extremely thin.
Okay, so you get the point, right? Bonito flakes move, which
Bonito.
you can see why people would maybe use that as an explanation. I don't think it is this, mainly because
Bonito,
the restaurant
bonito.
didn't say it was when they released their statement. So if it was, I'm sure they would have said it. But let's get to the public reaction in terms of the videos that have now been posted about this situation that are also getting millions of views. I believe this is like the original call-out video, if you will, kind of mentioning this. This is kind of like the earliest video I can find in this situation. It's by a TikToker called Guji Pooch, and this is what they had to say.
Keith Lee went to Fob Sushi in Seattle, Washington recently. I have to warn you, this is disgusting. He gave this sashimi a rating of 8.5 out of 10. I warned you. Look at the bottom corner here, okay? What's that? What's that? Oh, what is that? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna insert a little clip.
As a sashimi.
I looked into this a little bit,
But
and
it does
seems
look
like, I hate to
wormish.
tell you, but a lot of fish have worms, and you're supposed to freeze fish before you present it for sushi if it's
And,
gonna be raw to kill the wormies. And it looks like this place chose not to do that, maybe? I don't know. That's horrifying.
But I don't
It'll be
think
interesting
that
to see
piece
if
has
he does
flakes on
a
it.
Updated video after seeing
The
this
bonito
stuff. But I think
flakes.
this was posted like 5 days ago, so maybe, I don't know. The problem is I think they're actually like parasitic worms,
Bonito
and so
flake.
that is an issue. I looked it up. I want to say no thank you to herring worm disease, where worms attach to your esophagus, stomach, or intestine. No thank you. I will not be having any of that. Okay, love you guys. Drink water. Don't. Be careful where you consume raw fish from. Bye.
Okay, so that's the video. Like
That's
I said,
why I don't
think
eat
that's the
raw
original
fish,
video.
'cause
That's kind of what
I ain't trying to
sparked
get
all
nothing.
of this. A bunch more people have came out and spoke about this situation after. But yeah, you can see why people be worried, and this is definitely not a good look that you want to have for your restaurant. We then also saw a bunch of videos from TikTokers saying like, oh, I hope Keith Lee's okay. Like, a lot of people were actually like worried about his health because of this. Like this video here from Mark Bechet, where he said this.
And people were quick to comment on the situation to warn Keith Lee what happened, but he has yet to make a video, and many are thinking he might be sick.
And then we even got TikTokers trying to give like their advice to Keith Lee, like this video here from Crawford Wellness.
Please get this video in front of National Treasure Keith Lee. I am an expert at treating parasites with natural medicine. I have debunked online parasite cleanses multiple times, and you probably shouldn't do one for your mystery gut infection. However,
Dang, he said all that in one breath.
Raw fish, and if you prefer making human friends to finding unwelcome guests,
that's why I don't
Yuki,
eat
this is what you
sushi.
need to know. Sushi is traditionally served with perilla leaf, which you should not eat if you're getting the plastic kind, but the real one is delicious. Also usually ginger and wasabi or green-colored horseradish because wasabi is crazy expensive. But for today, either one will work, and I will tell you why. And I did not see any of those in your
wasabi's
sushi box,
nasty.
Mr. Lee, but I hope you will consider them for the future because in addition to being delicious, these plants create safety.
And then he goes on further with the video. You get the point, right? A lot of people are clearly worried about Keith Lee and also pretty worried about with this restaurant, who obviously are still serving food to customers. And a lot of people wanted answers. Now, as for Keith Lee, he hasn't posted a video about this situation. He has posted like a story on his TikTok account that just says, I'm healthy, thank you, God bless y'all. I'm assuming that is a response to the situation because it is so big. It would make sense. But clearly he's saying he's okay and he's not sick because of this. Now, as for Fob Sushi Bar, they have actually responded to this with a few slides
Okay,
on
what they
Instagram
say?
that say, Dear valued customers, we were honoured to recently welcome Keith Lee to Fob Sushi and are incredibly grateful for his visit and the support from everyone who has stopped by. Recently, a video has been circulating online that claims worms were found in our sashimi. We want to address this claim directly and assure you that it is entirely false. At Fob Sushi, we are committed to upholding the highest health and safety standards to provide clean, fresh and safe food for every customer. All seafood served at Fob Sushi is sourced from trusted suppliers, such as Young Ocean Inc., who process their products under Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points (HACCP) regulations. This includes both fresh and
But also, that's kind of crazy. Like, if it is a worm, it decides to pop up when one of the biggest food reviewers is filming a video. Like, out of anyone, it could be the worm decides to pop up in that video. But yeah, I don't know if it's a worm yet. Let's see what they say.
Frozen seafood, ensuring compliance with stringent safety standards. According to FDA's Fish and Fisheries Product Hazards and Control Guidance, third edition, freezing fish at specified temperatures effectively eliminates parasites. Freezing and storing at -4 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 days. Freezing at -31 degrees Fahrenheit until solid, and storing at... They go on to just mention a bunch of the temperatures and how you're supposed to store them. All of our frozen products meet these standards, and any fresh products are intended to be frozen before consumption to completely eliminate any potential health risks. Which so far sounds all good,
Wait,
right? This is
but freezing is supposed to kill these parasites. But if you freeze it and there are worms and stuff in the fish, it kills them, but they just stay in the fish. Because if it's dead and will you see it if it's dead and you pull it out? Or like, if you freeze it to kill it, then wouldn't it still be in the fish when you prepare it? I don't know.
You're kind of expecting to say they're doing everything right. They're following the guidelines. They're storing
Like,
them correctly.
not just
This
them,
is where
but
they
in
go on to give an
general.
Explanation as to what we saw in the video. Regarding the video, the movement observed in the fish may result from natural elasticity or the pressure of chopsticks when applied to its structure. We want to assure our customers that this is not indicative of worms or any health concerns. Okay, so clearly their reasoning is either natural elasticity or the pressure
Okay,
of chopsticks
so
when applied to its structure.
it's
As
not
for the
flakes.
chopsticks explanation, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me because he's literally just holding it still and it's moved, if we can see by this clip right here. I don't know, I don't
Yeah,
see
I don't
that as
know.
being the reasoning. He's held it up for like a little while before like it actually does the movement. So I don't know, maybe it is true. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below on this explanation. Like, do you think that this is the reason, or do you think it's something more than that? We are proud of our meticulous fish handling process,
Never
which
seen that
involves
before.
careful freezing, inspection, and preparation by our skilled chefs. We have never had any issue regarding food safety and remain committed to serving you the highest quality seafood. If you have any questions or concerns, we encourage you to reach out to us directly so we can address them transparently. Thank you for your continued trust and support of Fob Sushi. Sincerely, the Fob Sushi team. Now, as for the response to this statement, we can't see directly from the Instagram account like what the response is because the comments are turned off. But TikTokers have made videos since they kind of talk about this response, so we can read the comments on there. It looks a lot like bonito flakes to me. Search for bonito flake wiggle and you'll see what happens as they touch moisture. Yeah, again, I don't think this is true.
Wouldn't they
because
have said
didn't
it was
say
the
that in
flakes?
the statement.
I don't think that
They
piece of
surely
sushi
would have
had
mentioned that if
flakes.
that was a reason. We got another comment here saying that it's from a fisherman that have said, definitely a worm. You see them a lot in fish, but normally they get cooked out. Not harmful if prepared correctly, but raw. As a former vet tech who was obsessed with parasitology, that was definitely a worm. Unpopular take, so many worms in fish, you have eaten them all dead, alive, fried. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a difference between dead and alive though, don't you think? Especially if we're talking about parasites here, but again...
Yeah, especially if you freeze them to kill them. How are you going to know they're in the fish? You're just going to eat them when they're dead, so... Either way, you're going to eat it, but I guess people prefer to have it dead, so it doesn't do anything to the body.
We don't have any, like, definitive answers as to what's happened in this video. I do want to make that very clear, but... yeah, I think that's a little silly. I would have been skeptical if it moved down, in brackets gravity, but the figure moved upward, definitely a worm. Kiefer's probably screaming somewhere. I cannot imagine people pointing out I ate a worm all over social media, and I just sit there like, it's in me. Yeah, that's actually a fucking good point.
Yeah, and he gave it an 8.5.
If that was me, but... hopefully he's okay. He said in his story that he is okay, which is obviously a good thing. And then a few more comments very quickly. We got ones like, not the restaurant gaslighting us. It's sushi, guys. You accept the risk. That is 100% a worm. As a Japanese person who consumes a lot of sushi, that right there is a worm. Okay, right. So we've seen the response. It seems like a lot of people, I'd say definitely the majority of people, do think that it was a worm in the food. Right, so now it's time for the new update, because Keith Lee has actually released a new video talking about the situation since I recorded the video you've just watched, and this is what he had to say.
We went to a place called Five Sushi in Seattle the other day. Somebody slowed the video down, and it did appear that something moved. 1000% transparency. I didn't see anything until somebody pointed it out. I can't confirm or deny what it was, but I can confirm I am okay. I appreciate the people who actually did reach out and was worried about me. I'm alright.
Okay, so that's the main thing out the way. He says that he's okay. He said that he obviously didn't
See, look, even the person that ate the sushi with the worm, like, he's not tripping about it. He's not causing a big commotion about it. So I feel like if the person that was involved isn't, then why is everyone else? But it does look like a worm.
anything moving, which, I mean, yeah, of course he didn't. You wouldn't eat it otherwise, would you? But now this is where we get some very worrying news that Keith Lee goes on to mention.
Only reason I'm making this video is because I just saw a video of somebody who went the day after us and now they hospitalized. Just me and my character and who I am as a person.
But yeah, I can see why people are
I send my heart and I send my blessings to that person.
worried, because if it's a real parasite or fish or worm.
People's health are on the line. So if somebody's saying they're in the hospital and there's something moving in food, I absolutely think there's accountability that should be taken, and it's something that you can learn from.
Yeah, 100%. There has to be some type of investigation, it seems like, right? So we're seeing something move in the food. They obviously released that original statement, but now there's someone who is apparently being hospitalized. Hopefully, that person is okay. We obviously don't know many details about this, but that's extremely worrying. And Keith Lee even goes on to talk about the statement that the restaurant released.
For the restaurant to post a statement and indicate that me holding the sushi or me holding the chopsticks a certain way is why the sushi moved, I personally don't agree with it. Because I've had sushi 1,000 times, and I held sushi 1,000 different ways. Never once have I seen sushi behaving that way.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about how he was like holding it in the video. He's literally holding the chopsticks, barely even moving. It doesn't seem like that was a good explanation for me.
I think it's a worm.
It was a worm or it was a parasite. I'm just saying it was nothing that I did on my end. I literally was just eating as a customer. And as a customer, I shouldn't be the one getting blamed for if it was something moving in the food. At the end of the day, it's sushi. It's raw fish. There is risk and it's stuff that come with eating raw food, and I understand that fully. I just personally would wish that they would come out and they would be more accountable about it. Nonetheless, only thing I can do is control what I do. And I'm coming out and I'm saying I'm okay. And I pray for the lady who's in the hospital. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe. This is my first and only time speaking on this.
Okay, so like you just heard, he said this is the first and last time he's going to speak about this situation. It was definitely worth putting a video out with everyone being worried. There's this new information about someone who has apparently been hospitalized after eating at this restaurant. I guess that's not to say it's because of it.
It was at that restaurant?
We don't know all the details yet. Either way, extremely worrying. Now, actually, I'm only just noticing now that Fob Sushi has put out a new statement in regards to all of this, and this is what they've had to say on Instagram. This is my first time reading it. Dear valued customers, in response to recent food safety concerns, we've decided to close our Fob Sushi locations in Seattle and Bellevue until further notice. Your health and safety are our highest priorities. We are conducting a thorough investigation to address this.
So it was a worm. Because why would you go through all this if it wasn't? Like, if you said it wasn't a worm in the first place, you're talking about him squeezing the fish with the pressure of the chopsticks, then why would you... They're guilty. It's a worm.
situation, we'll take all necessary measures to prevent it from happening again. To our community, we are deeply grateful for your years of support and sincerely apologise for any inconvenience may have caused. We remain dedicated to providing you with the highest quality sushi. Okay, yeah, clearly something big's happened here. It makes it seem as if this whole, like, hospitalisation thing is definitely true. The fact that now closing restaurants as well, it is probably the worst look that a restaurant could have, realistically, right? I mean, hopefully everything gets sorted, right? This is a wild situation, considering it all started with a positive Keith Lee review that's now became such like a negative situation for the restaurant. But look, I mean, there's some worrying stuff in there, like a lot of worrying stuff, right? Something moving in the food, and now someone's being hospitalized. They are literally the worst possible things you can probably have in a restaurant. So yeah, it's a big situation. Hopefully they do sort it. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below.
But yeah, like earlier I was talking about Keith Lee being like calm about the situation, but like people like up in arms and stuff. But yeah, I meant in general, like sometimes the victim in the situation, they come out and they're like, oh no guys, it's fine, like it wasn't that big of a deal or whatever, and like their fans or whatever are the crazy ones like doing the most, but they're not even the one that went through it, but they're like have the most to say, but the actual person that went through it is like calm and like, oh guys, like it's fine, like don't worry about it. But yeah, it's a worm. If it wasn't a worm, they wouldn't have closed the restaurant. And also the other woman got sick. I didn't know at first that it was actually from the same restaurant until they said it again. I guess I was talking over it when he said it. But yeah, 2 instances, one caught on video, one was sent to the hospital. Yeah, it's a worm. Something, I don't know where they're getting the fish from, or maybe they're not freezing the fish as they should be. I don't know. But yeah, is he gonna get compensated for he might not have gotten sick, but it was caught on camera. Will he get his money back or something? Because the story I told earlier, when there was a maggot on the plate at the fish restaurant, I don't know, I guess is different in different countries. I don't think we got the food for free. Like, I feel like if you found that in your food, you would get everything for free or something, like as an apology. I feel like we only got like a soup for free or something, which is kind of crazy. But because we could have gotten sick from eating it or something. I don't know, if we didn't see it, I don't know. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, SEKSHI. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.